Another edition of Game Day, Casa. I'm Brendan.
And I'm Marcus. Before we analyze this week's matchup, let's see some of the highlights of last week's playoff game at Rosemont.
Last Friday night, the Rams took on the Rosemont Wolverines. Topping off the first offensive drive, Peyton Wilfrey throws an out route to the front of the end zone where Jake Romine catches it for the first score of the night. And when they come back down on offense again, Peyton pitches the ball off to Ron Quinn and he puts it in easy as the Rams score once more. But you guys know Casa isn't done yet, and Peyton with the quarterback keeper gets spun into the end zone for another touchdown. At halftime, Rams fans were happy with a great game, and KCRA3 sportscaster Del Rogers was there to put it on TV as Game of the Week. Now back to the action. Coming into the second half, Rosemont with the ball tries a handoff, and boom! Cody Patchen smacks the running back for a 3-yard loss. And giving the ball back to the offense, Peyton on the play action rolls out to the right to find yours truly, Brendan McCarthy in the back of the end zone. The Rams take this win home and move on to tonight's game with the score, Casa 34, Rosemont 23. Winning last week's game brought the Rams to round 2 of the playoffs. This week they play the Manteca Buffaloes. Offensively, the Buffaloes are led by senior quarterback number 16, Joe Menzel. With a quarterback rating of 129, he has scored 26 of Manteca's 77 total touchdowns this season. The only other person on the team who has more touchdowns than Menzel is senior running back number 5, Alex Laurel. He has 36 total touchdowns, and 24 of them are rushing. So we know that he is mainly a ground threat, averaging 8 yards per carry. Now if you think about it, Menzel has 26 touchdowns and Laurel has 36. Together they combine for 62 of Manteca's 77 touchdowns, so they are the offense's main powers. Take them out and the Rams should have no problem stopping this Buffalo offense.
Defensively, you can expect to see a 4-1 front with a cover 21, leaving 2 high safeties to take care of any deep threats. In the box, Casa will have to watch out for Manteca's linebacker, Lechi Nikwaka, an extremely athletic player who has 7 sacks in a span of 9 games. Manteca's defense gave up a total of 55 points in their last playoff matchup in a close 69-55 victory over 15th seed Central Valley, so as obviously shown, there are numerous ways for Casa's offense to get around him and find the end zone. Even though linebacker Lechi Nikwaka is a defensive stud, let's see who he has to deal with on Casa's O-line, number 54, Mark Nichols, this week's player profile.
Senior captain Mark Nichols weighs 230 pounds and stands at 6'1". He's the starting left guard on Casa's offensive line, and he's also this week's player profile.
I'm Mark Nichols. I've been playing football for 7 years now, and I'm the starting left guard for Casa.
Although this is Mark's last year playing for Casa, he hasn't always had a solid spot somewhere. He became the player that he is today by going wherever the team might need him.
I became the player I am today by my years of experience through flipping through positions and such, because last year I was the middle linebacker, I was on and off, whatever, and I felt how bad the team was, like in an aspect of, being excited, and I knew we needed that part as a leader, like the excitement in it. So when I knew I moved over to O-line, I knew I had to work out hard in the offseason, give everything I could to get stronger, bigger, and just work on showing people how to just have fun with it and get excited and go hit people.
Mark is a leader in every sense of the word. He's always with the team, always cheering them on, and wants nothing more than for them to be successful. And he does everything in his power to make it so.
I think I do see myself as a leader because I like to pump everyone up. I like to get them going. I like to, help them when they're down or whatever. And I lead them by just showing them on the field how to play aggressive, and I show them my emotion. So you'll see me on the sidelines, I'm screaming, I'm having fun with it. And that's the biggest way I think I lead, is by just getting everyone to feel my excitement and feel my intensity and passion for the game.
Mark is known for being an amazing athlete, a talented player, and for his out-of-the-box attitude. But his attitude didn't just come from anywhere. He had to get it from somewhere.
The reason I am so excited and revving up the crowd even when I'm hurt is I get that all from my mom. Because you want to go to a football game at Casa, you know you're going to hear the crazy country lady louder than crap in the stands. I get it from her every time. So I figure, the biggest thing is every football team feeds off of how loud the crowd is. If you're on defense and you hear your crowd just shaking and screaming and having a great time being there, the defense feeds off it. They get pumped up. They go make plays. So I figure, when I'm hurt or when I'm not hurt, don't matter. I'm going to help the crowd do their job to help us. And then overall, we're all going to win and have a really good night.
Mark plans to end this season with a section ring on his finger.
Now, let's go to Michael Povey to see what Coach Ryan has to say in this week's playoff edition of Coach's Corner.
Good morning, Casa Roble, and welcome to this week's edition of Coach's Corner. I'm Michael Povey here with none other than Coach Ryan. Thank you for being here, Coach.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's wonderful to be here during playoffs.
Fantastic win, dominating both sides of the ball at Rosemont. What particularly did you like about that game?
I'm not sure I'd use the word domination. We should have and we could have, certainly, but it's nice to watch the offense play a nearly perfect game. No turnovers and I think very few sacks, if any at all. And the defense came up strong when they had to.
Still talking about Rosemont, did you find anything that maybe you might want to tune up before you head on over to Manteca?
Yeah, probably the defense of the double reverse pass and the fake punts probably need to be worked on, but the defense is focused on that. And of course what Manteca does for this week's playoff game.
Shifting focus to Manteca, they won their first playoff match 69 to 55. 55 points is like an unheard of amount of points on a defense. Okay. However, their offense did score 69, so obviously these Buffaloes can produce. How do you plan to slow these guys down?
Well, Central Valley actually didn't stop them once. Every single time they had the ball, including with 12 seconds left in the half, the Buffaloes scored. So our defense is looking at some turnovers, and we've got to play some pretty tough defense on third down and make them punt. They haven't punted very often.
Right, the weather is getting a tad rainy, so it's definitely going to affect play. Are the Rams ready to take on these weather conditions?
It will be a perfectly dry field and a nice night Friday night, so I encourage everyone to be there to watch the Rams move into the third round.
All right, well, let's hope they can do exactly that. So thank you for being here, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
That's all I got for you today. Back to you, Brendan.
Some key questions for the night. Alex Laurel, Manteca's running back, accounts for the most touchdowns on the team. So how will the Rams contain him? Running, with only one linebacker in the box at times, will the Rams be able to run effectively against it? And last, Manteca's defense. They gave up 55 points to the number 15 seed team last week. So will we see the same situation tonight? Okay, Marcus, Manteca wins if...
Well, Brendan, Manteca wins if they can hold Cass's offense to a couple 3-and-outs and if the Buffalo offense can cash in when they are in the red zone. Well, Brendan, Casa wins if...
Casa wins if the defense can stop Manteca's high-scoring offense just a few times, letting Casa's offense dominate the night. That's all for this week, Rams fans. Come out to Manteca High School at 7 o'clock tonight and watch the Casa Roble Rams dominate